Shut up and sit down. And sit down.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the 360 Sports Show. I am Andrew Pizzelli. He is Christian Lauber, and we are breaking down the biggest stories from the past week in sports. Did a lot happen last week,
on?
Christian? I don't know. I honestly don't know how we're going to fill even a half hour here. Oh, wait. Literally, the sports world exploded again in the past week. All of the things which we had put in the ball locker have to come out. We said we'd keep them there until news broke. Well, la-di-da. You know, we do a show on a Monday, and Tuesday is when the bombs started dropping. The sports bombs, that is. Sorry. And so, I don't even know where to start. Should we go in, chronological order here? Wherever we go, if you want to reach us, you can in the comment section of any of the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And if you're one of our podcast listeners, you can hop on in. Email the show. Do it. The360sportshow@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. So, Christian, how should we attack just barrage of big items that we have to get through here this evening?
Well, I think we should start with what I think started with last week. Maybe I could have that wrong. I don't know. But baseball, I think, is the number one because it's not going to take a lot of time. It is what it is.
Paradoxically, when baseball actually takes a lot of time, in reality, discussing it, very brief. So, how about you give us the rundown then of what has happened?
I mean, look, you can do the whole CBA thing on your own time, go read about it, but they agreed to a deal. That's basically it. The owners and the players agreed to a deal. So, and they are going to have a full season, a full 162, which I think is okay for the game. Would they have been hurting too much if they lost 8 games, 156, or something like that? 154, 156? No. I think it would have been fine either way, but at least they agreed to a deal, and some of the stuff that I care about is not going to be happening until 2024.
Yep.
So that's not ideal, but I'm glad they got something done, and hopefully they can kind of roll towards the rule changes and things like that, because as a fan and spectator, those are the things I care about. Those aren't coming now, so good for baseball getting a deal done, and we should have a flurry of free agency moves here going forward.
I guess my reaction is I guess this isn't the deal that Major League Baseball wanted. Where are all these things that were supposed to be great for the game and great for the fans? Like you said, there's some changes. There's, a pitch clock, maybe some changes about the shift coming in 2024 or beyond. Who knows? It's like we've decided to start deciding that we'll decide to do something.
Right.
One rule and the thing is, though, it's typical. There's always another thing. It's that nobody even cared about. Well, we are announcing that as part of this agreement, we have agreed to discuss that we will be altering the size of the base. Who cares? Who cared
Actually,
about that?
It's kind of weird.
Can you give me a reason? This is something to talk about out of left field. Why does that matter?
I don't know the exact statistic, but they did try this out in the minor leagues, and I guess it propped up stolen bases a couple percentage points. So it makes the game more interesting. It adds an element there. I mean, look, as a person reading the thing, you're not going to really care. And the statistic, I don't know exactly what it is. I think it was a couple percentage points. So it creates more of I don't know, some type of gamesmanship. More stolen bases equals, a little bit. You can't shift anymore. So
I mean,
hit
like,
and
are we
run,
talking
things like
like, are the
that.
bases
So.
going to be like this big? Like, that'd be cool if the bases are
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
they're
big.
gonna be jumbo size like MLB Slugfest 2001 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna have the big giant bat, crank,
and they're
home
also
runs
going
every
back
single.
to jumbo aluminum bats as well. Yeah, no, but I think that's the reason. I mean, it leads to more stolen bases, which leads to more throws down to second, and I don't know. It's just there's a split inch there that could matter in terms of you need a big steal in a game, you put a guy in, and that could matter in terms of well now it's a little bit MLB is all about statistics. If it's 2 percentage points higher and they have a chance to get
Yeah,
someone in scoring position, they'll do it.
I don't know. I think aside from if you were excited to see games, like I want games, I need games now. This is great for you because you're gonna get that and you're gonna get the full season. If you're someone like me, I think we'd agree. Like, want to see actual substantive changes, some awareness on the part of Major League Baseball that it has a problem. This is not like, we'll think about, no, there is a problem. Um, and I don't know how long Major League Baseball could go. Like, the NFL has the same problem where there's a disconnect. The NFL serves its owners. It really doesn't care. Whenever the players come to the bargaining table and they're up, all they do is they just sliver off another little bit of piece of the pie and say, "Oh yeah, here's all these things you could do. How about we just give you like 1% more money?" And even 50-50. So like they always just kind of keep kicking the can. Now the NFL is an insane product. It just keeps raking in cash and ratings over and over and over. It can get away with it for now. How long can Major League Baseball sustain like viewers not interested, feeling like the game is not going somewhere? Like eventually MLB commissioner owners have to stop just saying, "Well, let's do this because it's going to maximize our profits," and realize that at the end of the day, if people don't want to watch, you will not make your money. It's a game. The game has to be fun to watch. There's no law that says baseball is played every year. I'm sure they feel that way. But it is not a
They
state
still make a
run.
load of money though. They
They
still make a
do,
boatload.
but I wonder I wonder with baseball for how long, because it depends on ads. That's how they make their money. It's how the networks they make their money from the networks. Networks make their money from selling ads.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
if
we say
people don't
baseball is
watch,
dying, right? But it's really not. I mean, it's not like it's going to ever be nothing, but it's going to be falling by the wayside in terms of, at least for me. I mean, it's not. It's probably at the bottom of my list for the four major sports here in the U.S. So it's like they have to do something, and I think the changes. Not only the shift is good, getting rid of that whole data and Excel spreadsheet of when to shift and why are you shifting here as opposed to there and all that crap. Get rid of that, and also the pitch clock. So limited shifts, pitch clock, the stolen the bases, bigger bases thing. You want to throw that in, sure. The international draft again, like this is all stuff, especially from like an owner standpoint. In the other sports, you do not see the players get a say in like, okay, so in hockey, we're going to take out both blue lines and put in a green line in like 2 inches this way. The players don't get a say in that. They just they go out and they play. In baseball, it's completely different for whatever reason, and you hear it some from players, but also old timers like, why are they trying to change the game? It's been around since night because you have to change with the times. This is the same exact thing as the NFL has changed. The rule changes in the NFL go off every single year.
yeah.
And it's not like the players are coming in saying no, yes, no, yes, no, and doing a survey. The coaches and the owners, they get a say in this, and that's that. The players go play.
Yep.
So it's like MLB is weird with this stuff, and I hope they actually come through with these changes here sooner than later. Unfortunately, it's
2 years.
like 2023, 2024, whatever.
Giddy up.
In the minors, this stuff is clearly working. I mean, it's gonna not even if it's half an hour off of a game, it's huge.
Yeah.
So they have to get to that point.
We will see. I'm waiting for that. That's what I'm excited for. So I guess we'll check in 2 years. Colin says, can't wait to start watching some baseball games here and there in 2023. Pitch clock, baby. Limited shifts. Hell yeah. Also, he points out, like you said, more inches of bases equals more stolen bases. the nerds will figure out a way around that. They'll start, we got to start throwing earlier. Or there'll be some change. They'll be adapting to that. Anywho, baseball's back. Are you excited? I don't know.
Playoff baseball.
Also, Colin says, the league and the players renegotiating every 5 years as opposed to every 10,
Yeah,
like most other sports, and still rarely changing their product is annoying.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's because baseball is so far out there compared to the NHL, the NBA, and the NFL. They're just so far on their own trajectory. It just makes no sense half the time.
They're like Pluto. It's just
like, notice how the other three keep viewership. It's very compelling. People will talk about these sports. Baseball, it's like, my dad's going to talk about it, or my dad's going to talk about it. But like the young viewership that's kind of growing up here, they need the rule change. They need a speedier game. It's just the way it is.
Do you think Major League Baseball must have a TikTok account, right?
I would
think they do.
I can't imagine they don't.
I wonder what their TikTok content is like.
God,
we can effort that at some other point during.
But hey, the Red Sox got to do some moves here.
Hey, that could wind up being a hot or a not. If MLB TikTok. How's their TikTok game? That's how they're gonna get the young viewers. Pretty soon, that's what's gonna happen. We're already seeing the move to Amazon streaming, and Yahoo Sports has Thursday Night Football and such and such. You're gonna be like TikTok, the exclusive home of the World Series.
And also, just one more thing before we move on too. They also took away the stuff that I liked from last year too. I don't know if you saw this. 7-inning doubleheaders are no longer a thing. I like those more than 9 innings because it's shorter. And then the other thing was
putting the guy on second.
Yeah,
right?
Taking a guy off second base. Are we just gonna have 17-inning games? It's a 162 game season. The second base rule makes all the sense in the world. You start inning number 10 or 11, whatever you want to put it at. There's a guy in second, and it makes the game more exciting.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a shootout. Instead, nope. Here we go. Red Sox, Yankees in the middle of freaking July. We're gonna have a 5-hour game to 2 a.m. Like who's watching that? Guarantee you half the viewership that they see on their little thing that says, "Oh, our viewership's at 2 million." It's really like 1.8 million are snoozing on their couch.
Yeah. Fell asleep. They got the remote in their hand.
Yeah. But hey, they count.
I realized that I gave people a great little screenshot there, so
nice.
That'll probably come back to roost.
Grab that, Colin, real quick.
Quick, dump it. All right, so yeah, baseball's back. Games will be coming soon. They're gonna have spring training.
And also, they're still. I mean, we'll probably talk about this weeks going forward because the NFL will slow down eventually at some point in time.
I don't think so.
There will be some free agents for MLB coming out at some point. Carlos Correa still hasn't had a contract, so Schwarber, another one.
I heard Freddie Freeman's interested in going to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, Blue Jays, Dodgers, they're all in the mix. Yeah, so there's going to be some movement still.
Yeah. All right, so baseball, check. That was one thing. Yeah, we'll just tick over each of these dominoes as they came. Next up was Mr. Aaron. Well, hold on. So Aaron Rodgers, all the reports come out that he is getting a contract extension. 4 years, $200 million. Before we debate how stupid I think that is for the Packers, has this been confirmed? Because Aaron Rodgers that same day was like, people saying I agreed to some contract extension are misinformed. I will be in Green Bay next year, but this is all lies. Has there been any follow-up with this?
I have not heard ever since that his tweet that he sent out. I have not heard.
Because I just thought that was so...
It's also hard to keep track of because everybody else is flying off the shelves too. It's just like ridiculous there.
Pro Football Talk, because I just put in Aaron Rodgers to try to... Now that Tom Brady is coming back, we haven't gotten to that yet. Aaron Rodgers can retire and not be overshadowed by Brady at the Hall of Fame ceremony in 5 years. The Aaron Rodgers deal coming. So I guess it's still... You know what it is? It looks like they're
probably waiting for whatever reason, money or something.
Yeah, they're like getting all their other ducks in a row to That's what it would seem to be.
I mean, he basically admitted he was going back to the Packers, though. I'm pretty sure in that tweet. So we know that's happening.
Here we go. This is just within the hour from Pro Football Talk. 6 days after announcing he was returning to the Packers, Aaron Rodgers still hasn't signed his new deal. But he will, right? Who changes their mind after only 6 days? Other than Tom Brady. That would be, of all the things that have happened this week, would be for Aaron Rodgers, who technically is not signed a deal, somehow be like, you know what? Brady's coming back. I like Miami.
The AFC.
Miami. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to Miami. You know what? I love New York. I want to go to the Jets. I don't know.
The Jets.
Honestly, I wouldn't put anything past that guy at this point.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he's Poncha Karma.
Which is why, at least on the face, we're gonna assume he signs his deal, and that he's coming back, and he's gonna be with the Packers for a long time.
For now, those balls go back in the locker. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Until we hear definitively, the Aaron Rodgers
he's
back in the
still
locker.
Relegated to the ball locker?
Yeah, he's the ball locker, yeah.
I don't know. We'll hit on this one thing. We can, because we will have time, I guess, when it becomes official. Hopefully it happens during the show. Is that a smart deal for the Packers? Like, if you're looking at it and saying, like, say you're a Packers fan, do you like this deal that they're going to give him 4 more years and $200 million? Forgetting, like, the cap ramifications, like cap jail, none of that matters. But just, like, should the Packers do this?
If you're asking me, no. But what other choice do they have? Because they haven't drafted a quarterback that can play. I don't know how good Jordan Love actually is. So, not that he's had the time, but when he's gotten in there, he hasn't looked great. So, I just don't know what are they going to do? Tank for a year and draft a quarterback? I guess. But if Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Pancha Karma, went on his retreat and now wants to be there and everything, then I think it's fine. If all he wants is the money and the years, then sure, they can, they'll have the best quarterback in the league until it comes to the playoffs when you have to win a game, and then they'll choke it out again. But it's like, it's kind of the same old story, so I'm not surprised. I mean, I just don't know what other choice they have. So
yeah, I mean, they have no better option, right? They're not gonna. There's no move to make that makes them better. You become immediately, drastically, significantly worse if you were to say, you know what, Aaron, we're done.
Yeah.
But 4 more years. I mean, we thought last year would be a lame duck year. And it wasn't. He was an MVP. He performed outside after the first 2 weeks, and you were like, "That's not Aaron Rodgers out there. That's like a double." It's a clay model. So I wonder. I would be concerned that he's not Peyton Manning. He's not Tom Brady. He's not one of these guys that you look at and say every single year there's just this drive. And there's this motivation to win. I think the guy I think he wants to play football. I don't question his desire to play football. I question his desire to go win championships. He himself has never said. He even said last year, they were talking about this, about him, like, do you feel this pressure? And he's like, not really. Like, I won.
Yeah, he's always been that way.
Won. So I would look at it like, what do we do?
He has 2 MVPs.
If you're the Packers, you're gonna ride this guy for 4 more years and give a guy that hasn't won you anything in 10 years $200 million. I get it. Josh Allen, you're in your 20s. You feel like you've got another decade of his ability. Sure. Aaron Rodgers is already 37. He'll be 41 at the end of this deal. I don't know. He's not exactly durable either. So I don't know how it will play out for them in the long run, if it happens. So we'll see. Colin says, I think he confirmed the signing but refused the terms, or at least confirmed the agreement, not the actual signing. Apparently, it's making it hard for them to come to terms with Devontae Adams, who I believe they just franchise tagged.
Yeah, but he said he's not going to play on it.
Yeah. So, especially after he saw, like, the Christian Kirk deal.
Yeah, look
come on
out.
Now. So it's.
You think that guy has any any leg to stand on? I think he's probably going to be the highest paid receiver ever.
Oh, Adams? Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to keep him You think you have to keep him? You want Aaron Rodgers to stay? You want him to be happy and help you win? You need Devontae Adams. You are not going to throw Aaron Rodgers back out there with Devin Lazard and Cornelius Cornell Bunting, whatever his name is. Like,
Did you just make up a name like Key and Peele or something?
I did.
Is that what that was?
Who's our guy that we came up with, that you came up with Matt, basketball player?
Oh, I don't remember.
We'll have to roll tape on that.
I'd have to look at it.
It was very generic white guy name. I don't know. Colin also says the Kirk signing is atrocious. Yeah. What were the exact terms of that, by the way? Christian Kirk.
4 years.
4 year, $84 million.
Yeah.
For a third wide receiver. Like,
I think he's a pretty good player, but I'm not paying him that.
He is a good player. I mean, he was highly regarded coming out of college. But, you know, when you look great when you got DeAndre Hopkins on one side and AJ Green on the other. And Indy
You don't
Isabella.
like the receiver in Jacksonville?
Allen Robinson? Yeah. I don't know.
It'll help Trevor Lawrence. We know that.
For sure.
I hope.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We will see how it plays out for Green Bay. So that news came out. Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. And everybody said, well, that kind of like puts a stop on the quarterback carousel. Like, kind of like now everybody, maybe this is just going to be status quo. Everyone will stay where they are. Not much is going to happen. And within 20 minutes, Russell Wilson was traded to the Denver Broncos. The AFC West is now absolutely stacked. I think odds are, by rule, right? You could have a divisional winner and two other wildcard teams, and those two teams could be from a division. All four teams in that division could hypothetically win 12 games. And one of them doesn't make the playoffs.
It's going to be really hard for one or it's going to be really hard for two or even three to make the playoffs, though. Maybe not two, but it's going to be tough for that division to get into the playoffs. That's for sure.
But I think all four teams could have great records. It's
100%. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like one of those teams is just kind of SOL. I mean, it's like,
yeah,
what can you can go 12-4 and still be knocked out.
Yeah. The 12-5, Christian. We have to remember the extra game.
Oh yeah, screw that game. Whatever. 12-4.
We're just gonna keep saying 12-4. So yeah, your thoughts on the Russell Wilson trade? And I will pull up the exact terms of that deal.
I love it for Denver. I mean, I think Denver's pretty much in the driver's seat for a quarterback away situation. I think they struggled last year, but I think you get a guy like Russell Wilson, if he's healthy and ready to go, they have guys around him that can play. Their defense is already pretty good. I think they were top 3, top 5 in the league in offensive scoring defensively. And I mean, Russell Wilson in my mind is a stud. And if he's in the right situation, like now he should be, they're a team to definitely fear in that in the AFC. And it's just, hey, look, it's another AFC team getting better. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots are just getting worse. So these teams are all kind of stacking the deck. I mean, the AFC looks ridiculous right now. We'll get into some of the other moves, but just in terms of Russell Wilson to the Broncos, I mean, I think I like them as like maybe the third or fourth team in the AFC now. I mean, I think he's that good, and I think they're that close without a quarterback, and now they have the star quarterback, and that's really what it is in the league. I mean, you just look at the teams across the board. That's what it is.
Why is it so difficult to find the exact details of this trade online again? Here we go. The Broncos have agreed to trade Drew Lock, Noah Fant, tight end, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, number 9 overall, and next year's 2 second-round picks, 2022, 40 overall, and next year's 2023, and a 2022 fifth-round selection to Seattle for Wilson. And I love that they had to throw in this 2022 fourth-round pick. I don't know why. If there's some provision about trading picks, there has to be like some sort of pick coming back. Russell Wilson wasn't good enough. The Broncos were like, or Seattle.
They're giving up a lot.
That, Can you
Throwing
give
a
back
pick.
a 4th-round pick? Can you? It's just funny to see that happen. Yeah, it makes the AFC West crazy. That division is going to be so much fun to watch. It's great for Denver. This is now like their MO now. It's like get veteran quarterback, ride his coattails, suck for a couple of years. Oh, get another veteran quarterback.
All I have to say is, Josh, you took a pretty good situation out there in Las Vegas, but I think you're number 4 in that division now.
Oh,
just by default. So good luck.
Yeah, I certainly think so. I mean, Russell Wilson is basically he's a borderline MVP candidate every year with what he can do. And I think being in Denver, I mean, think about the moon balls that guy threw in Seattle. Through rain and wind and sleet. Now what he's going to be able to do in Denver is going to be fun to watch. That's why I was fascinated to see if Aaron Rodgers went there. Because, again, that guy's got a cannon and could probably launch it from one end zone to the next in the course of play.
Yeah.
So it's great for Denver. Like you said, bad for teams like the Raiders. The Chargers are trying to big boy up and position themselves to finally, hit another gear. We'll see if that can happen. They've been kind of beating against that door for the last few years. But
they got some good players today, didn't they?
They did. We can hit on those in a bit. But yeah, I love this deal. I love this trade. It made sense for Seattle to just cut bait.
Would you have traded Mac Jones for Russell Wilson?
Would I have traded Mac Jones for Russell Wilson? You got to think about the contract, though. No, yes, I 100% would have traded Mac Jones for Russell Wilson.
You got to think about the cap.
No
cap.
I
big
would
cap hit.
I would 100% have traded Mac Jones, and I like Mac Jones. But now I like Mac Jones as a developing guy with upside on a rookie contract with a team around him. Where's the team going? And I mean offense and defense.
Oh, they need help everywhere. Yeah.
So right now, I would anybody who says they wouldn't take Russell Wilson is just
they're lying to themselves.
They're just lying. They are delusional. Colin in the comment section. I think he's talking about Christian Kirk still. I like the guy and everything. Think he's underrated, but no thank you. The 360 Sports Show. We reject your 17-game reality and substitute our own. Yes, we always do that here on the 360 Sports Show. He also says Wilson going to a great roster. That's why it's a team that made sense. I mean, they kind of like the way Tampa made sense for Brady. You just looked at the roster and said, oh my God, you get a elite quarterback with this roster, they could blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for them, and I ain't gonna be great for at least 1 to 2 other teams in that division who had hopes. The Chiefs, we expect to still be the Chiefs, but the Chargers and the Raiders, this definitely throws a wrench into their plans. Some of the other quarterback news, Kirk Cousins stays, right? Teddy Bridgewater's going to Miami. And Deshaun Watson is legally out of trouble. Still has to worry about some civil court stuff. The rumors are kind of flying. Oh, where could he go now? Is this team interested? Is that team interested? Now teams are falling out again of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Christian, your thoughts on if Deshaun Watson does indeed get traded or moved at all this year, whether it be between now and the conclusion of the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I just have no idea of this situation anymore. There's so many rumors about him being moved, so I have to believe it'll happen eventually. But where he's going, I don't know. I guess Indy it's not going to happen because they're in the same division. The Steelers just picked up Trubisky. I doubt they're going to go after Watson now. So I don't know where the situation leads. Ultimately, I don't know where in the end he would be traded. I would assume maybe in the NFC if that's where they want to send him, but also who knows about Miami now because the owner situation and the lawsuit there. So the whole thing is a mess, quite frankly, and I don't know where this ends in. It's going to be him playing somewhere, I would imagine, but where the hell that is, I feel like names are coming off the board here more and more, so I don't know where he ends up.
Yeah, I guess the latest rumor yesterday, from a blue checkmark source, the Saints and Panthers, according to Ian Rappaport, have made offers to the Texans, and that Watson is expected to meet with them. There's other teams involved.
That's right, Panthers, Saints, I guess, but like, what does that look like ultimately? Who knows if those teams back out? We don't even know.
And what honestly are you gonna get for him now? Like,
Yeah.
teams know you want to trade him. Like, I honestly think
he'd be good in Carolina, to be honest with you, but
yeah, he would be. But I come back to this over and over again. Whether it's been he's not even under a suspension. He's just not playing.
Right.
Guys who don't play, let the Le'Veon Bells who sit out for a year, they want to hold out, they want to get it, you don't ever come back the same. And so, like, we have this image of Deshaun Watson. Can he reclaim that on the field? I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about on the field. I think he's top.
I mean, yeah, he's still young, so obviously it's not like he's gonna have, and obviously I assume he's staying in shape. But I do think there's gonna be a tail off from having not played in an actual game since when? Sometime in 2020.
Yep, it's got to be now. Yep.
So
probably the last game he played was he beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Every time he was out there, he beat him.
That's difficult. And I gotta imagine by now the offers that they're getting are probably, very low compared to what they thought they would get.
Yeah.
Colin says, I wonder if Judon, who is hustling hard for Allen Robinson, is willing to renegotiate his own deal to make it possible. Answer, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll get to that, the Patriots in free agency, and I don't know.
This or whole lack thing, thereof.
This whole thing, guys just on Twitter messaging back and forth, adding each other.
Hey, I'll be honest. If Judon is able to recruit Bobby Wagner and Allen Robinson, I will give him a pay raise of $1 million. How about that?
If that works, somehow I feel like, hey, Matt, could you you think you could help us, like, try and reach out to these guys and, see where they're at and see if they'd be interested in coming here, tell them a bit about our culture and what's going on. Oh, yeah.
It's all about the culture. I mean,
at all Bobby W. What up, dog?
Call me.
Call me. I don't know if that's necessarily what
the hardcore pitch.
What they had in mind. Okay. So now, drum roll please. The moment we've all been waiting for. This news came. Is it only yesterday? I'm so lost. My brain is so fried. Does this only happen on Sunday? The Brady news, right? Correct? Or Saturday?
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, which was yesterday.
Yes, it was. Wait, yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
Somebody get me some coffee. To not many surprise, Tom Brady officially unretires and is coming back for a 23rd season. I want to read his exact statement. We will not make up words. We will not parse words. We will find the exact words from the man. This is what he says in a tweet, 7:13 p.m. Yeah, yesterday. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. By the way, when I first started reading this, I thought there was going to be like a twist somewhere where it was about like playing for like doing some sort of cryptocurrency thing. Not an actual unretirement. Anywho, that time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. LFG. Not totally surprising.
What was that, 41 days?
Yeah, as
His
many
shortest
days as
retirement?
he is old.
Yeah.
No, have to be 43 days. Or 44. Jeez. We're going to talk about that in a second. Age and options for Brady.
We all know Tom's age and contract situation. We don't need to talk about it.
So here's what I want to know. I think we all had reservations when he initially retired. The way that whole thing got bungled. If this was even really it, there was a sense that all the rumors about San Fran coming up, and I wonder if his plan was to say, because Steve Young said this. He's retired from Tampa Bay. There's only one team, and he said he's retired from New England. There's only one team who he is not retired from, and that is the 49ers. That is his dream. That is what he wants. He wants to go back there, finish his career where his dreams, his literal dreams, started, to play for the 49ers.
That'd be a sweet-looking jersey.
And so he has to obviously be traded there. And they asked Bruce Arians a week ago, hey, if Tom wanted to come out of retirement and was interested in going to another team, would you guys, what would that look like? And he was just like, that's not going to happen. No shot.
No, he's playing for us. That's what he said.
So I wonder now, so it's convenient that Brady decides I'm coming back the day before free agency, when he can talk all these guys into coming back to Tampa. He can help Tampa out, get a whole bunch of guys come back on nice, friendly deals, and be like, all right, I did something for you. Now trade me to San Fran, or I retire again.
No shot.
Come on, no shot.
No shot.
All right, Christian. We initially, you said it at 12% that he was not actually retired. I said like 20. Now it ends up it happened. What are the odds he even actually is playing? I believe he's playing. He's 100% playing this year he's 100% playing football. Is he playing for the Buccaneers this year?
Yes.
100%.
98%.
98%. Which is, I think, where you initially started. The moment Brady announced his retirement. And then you worked your way up to 12 as more and more of it got kind of just completely screwed up. I don't know. I still would wonder if a trade is possible or in the works. We would never get this answer. We'd have to infer it. Like, hey, they did trade him, but like...
I find it hard to believe that they would trade him, especially after Arians said... Arians is kind of like... He's just kind of like a bumbler. He just like speaks, and it ends up being factual because he doesn't... He just can't help himself, I guess, but... Because he never shuts up, but he already said, like, if he's coming back, we got plenty of money for him, and he's going to play for us. That's it. So, and he met with the Glazers. I just find it hard to believe that they're going to trade him now, and also that would mean they just give him all the leverage and all he wants. I don't think so. I think the reason he retired in the first place probably is because he wanted out of Tampa Bay to go somewhere else, and they said, hell no, we're not trading you. We're not getting rid of you. If you want to play, you're playing here. And so he said, okay, I'm retiring. And then they were like, okay, fine. You can go ahead and retire. And then 40 days later, he's like, okay, I'm playing 23rd season with Tampa Bay Bucks. So I just find it hard to believe they're going to trade him at this point.
I was going to say, so like, what do you think happened? Was this just I'm mad and I'm going to take my ball and leave? Or did he actually seriously want to consider retirement? It wasn't a sham.
I literally think he retired to try to get in like a pissing match with them to gain leverage to facilitate some type of move. Because I do think he wanted to move at the end of the season. That is what I believe. That's what's been out there, going around. So, and then they said no. And so he was like, okay, fine, I'm going to play. Because I don't think he ever had any intention of retiring past this year. Unless he was going to be playing for Tampa and then he retires and he comes back anyway. So, and especially with Gronk is probably going to be back there. I find it hard to believe they would facilitate any type of trade for him. Do
we think this is actually the end? He probably won't say so. I don't think he'll want the victory tour.
Well, I mean, let's see, because he could get a new contract.
Does he play 1 year and then just sign with San Fran?
I mean, it's definitely possible that he goes elsewhere after the year, but he also could get a new contract. We don't know. So, I mean, he could get more
True.
money here. He could get another year, whatever. I don't know what the hell he wants to do. I
Yeah.
lost track and I kind of give up. Just play or don't play, and just like don't say I want to go spend time with my family and my kids for 2 weeks out of the off season, which you do anyway, and then just come back and play football. Just say you're playing football. No, it's fine. We all know
Yeah.
you want to play. You're still at the top of your game. You're still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So just play.
Is there any concern that this is Brett Favre-esque? Has he
Oh,
reached
100%
that?
it is. Yeah.
Has I think it depends on how he plays. If he comes back and is the Brady we saw last year, or at least some semblance of that, then no, that immediately gets wiped out. It's like you just kind of like thought you were done. You realized that wasn't for you. Maybe your family realized it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
And you returned to the game and you were fine. Because everybody said what was great about it is what other elite player, how many elite players like that walk away and say, man, they could have done more. Usually it's guys who retire early, not guys who are like 44, soon to be 45 years old, and you say, who knows? He did everything and probably still could have done more. Now, if he comes back and he, for some reason, I highly doubt it, sucks, has an awful year, and by awful, I mean his standards of awful, like 2013 Patriots, awful, 20-something touchdowns, mid-teens picks, less than 4,000 yards, like, like maybe has some big plays here and there, but is like not what he was doing last year, which is almost throwing 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That will hurt his legacy, I think. And I just wonder what Tom wants. I think this is going to be some of the narrative is, Rob Ninkovich said this today on the radio. A guy who has made all the money, is set for life, has won everything in this league. What's the motivation? Like, why? What are you searching for? What are you hoping to achieve or accomplish? When is it enough? And I mean, nobody thought Brady, clearly because of his performance, Brady is not looked at like a guy that's just hanging on and can't let go. Do we see that? If he plays a year in Tampa and is good, not great, and then wants to keep playing, Tampa says, thank you very much, have a great life, and he decides to go somewhere else and keep playing until he's 47, 48, 50. I don't know.
60?
I don't know. He could. Honestly, with quarterback
No
play
way.
and the way
No
the guy...
way.
No, I'm saying 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
about
not
50
60.
either. I think by 47, 48, I think we'll see Tom. That TB12 method is going to be running real thin on
Which
that
is
thing.
an insane thing to think about. He could be like 47 and still playing in the NFL. There's guys who
Yeah,
don't
it's
make it till
ridiculous, yeah.
27.
Oh no, what he's done is remarkable. That's that, and comparing it to Brett Favre, it's a different situation because Favre was at a different point, I guess, in his career. He's not as good as Brady, but the will he, won't he is definitely Favre-esque. I mean, there's no debating that. It's like hopefully it's only a 1-year thing and we don't have to do this every year.
Every year.
Everybody knows he's coming back. But I don't know where he goes from here. I mean, he's going to play out the year, obviously, I think, at least on Tampa as of now. And then, you'll see what happens if he wants to do one more and one more and one more.
I think what's crazy, though, for him, his longevity has kind of left him nothing else, in a sense. If you think about it, like, a lot of players who get into coaching, like, NFL coaches, some of them have, like, just been coaches their whole life. They played college, maybe they played a year in the league, they just got right into coaching in their 20s. Or they were college coaches, they jumped to the pros. Look at guys like Josh McDaniels. Look at Bill Belichick, lifelong coach, right? Brady, and the players that maybe like played to their 30s, retired, look at the Troy Browns, right now, in just to use a New England example. Guy who played into his early 30s, retired. 7-8 years almost after that, kind of started kicking the tires on helping out. Almost a full decade after retiring, started kind of being a presence, and then not until like 13 years after he was done playing. Granted, at this point, he's like just now 50. Starting to kind of get into it. Full time.
Still ripped, though.
Still jacked. One of my all-time favorite Patriots.
Guy's in shape.
Tom is still playing now. He has no coaching experience. And I honestly don't think he would make a good coach.
No, he wouldn't
players
want to coach either.
don't make good coaches. Because especially at this point, he's not going to like be one of these guys who retires and the next year's on a sideline holding a clipboard, being an assistant quarterback's coach. He's Tom Brady. He's going to look at whoever he's coaching and be like, "You suck."
He's gonna win another Super Bowl, and then he's gonna come be the head coach of the Patriots. Watch.
That would be insane. I think he's kind of left himself this no room. Like he can't. How does I think he needs football. How does he stay? How does he keep football in his life?
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be. He would not make a good TV personality. That's just never been what he's really into. He's not Peyton Manning. As crazy and cool it would be for a network to have the two of them together on like a Sunday
get Eli
show.
out of there and bring in Brady.
Yeah.
Or give Peyton, Eli, and Brady. How about
he's
that?
not going to be a coach. He's never, ever, ever even expressed any desire for that, and I don't think he'd be any good at it. So really, it's kind of like, well, once you're done, maybe get into ownership, right? Because even if he retired, he's going to want to wait a few 5, 6, 7 years before he starts to get into those things, so that emotional attachment and that feeling of, I can just beat him. Why am I going to like be up here? Or, on the sideline. I should be on the field because I'm better than all these people out here. You got to let that fade away. I'll wonder the longer it goes with Brady. I think maybe that's part of the motivation. What is there? I mean, all these, in a way, he's so different from everybody, but he's really no different than anybody else in this respect.
The only thing I could see is part of an ownership group. That's the only thing. I mean, there's been rumors of him in Miami, and yeah, obviously that kind of got thrown to the wind because of this whole situation now in Miami. But yeah, I would say ownership is really the only place I could see him. I don't think he's an Elway type. I don't think he's a coach. Or rattle off whatever thing you want. I think it's ownership group or maybe nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the longer if he comes back for this year and then signs up for another year somewhere next year, the year after, especially if say he wins a Super Bowl, it's gonna be like, dude, what more do you want? I don't know. Crazy. To ask and answer that question way, way, way too early. Will the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl this year, Christian?
Oh, Jesus. No.
I'm going to say no as well.
Let's see how the roster shakes out. They'll be in the conversation.
I don't think they do. But you're 98% on Brady playing in Tampa.
Yes.
I put
98.2%.
71.9% as of right now. As of today's taping on March 14th in the year of our Lord 2022. 71.9%. So, Colin in the comment section says Brady has said multiple times he does not want to coach. Part owner or vice president / GM of an NFL organization is how he would stay. Yeah. That's along the lines of what it would have to be. But that doesn't come quick. It would be unprecedented. I mean, Peyton's trying to do that right now. He's trying to get into that. And it doesn't seem like it was like all that long ago. I mean, he retired 7 years ago.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. 7 years ago. So all of this is with the backdrop of the New England Patriots for our New England listeners here and what is happening with them. Inexorably, Brady and the Patriots will always be linked. Now we could say, hey, Brady knew he wasn't going to actually retire. That's why he didn't give us the love. That's why he didn't. Tommy's still going to say all these wonderful things about us. Just wait. It'll come. It'll someday. I think, I don't know, you will probably put a big old John Hancock on this statement as well. I think the Patriots are screwed. I think that as good as Mac Jones is, and I really like his upside, I think they miscalculated by spending so much in free agency last year to like quickly rebuild this team. I think maybe some of that was a push from the Crafts, like, hey, we can't have what we had last year. People are coming back. We need butts and seats. Go spend the money. Build a team. But really, by the time Mac Jones is ramped up, we'd expect to be like carrying, helping you win a championship. Most of the guys that are on this roster are going to be gone. Either not re-signing them, or they're going to be old and retired. And so I feel like they're just like this kind of stuck little spot right now where you want to invest in the team because there is talent there. But in a way, I feel like they shouldn't spend any money because they're not winning squat this year. This defense is not going to be good enough to go win you a championship. The offense you hope to continue to grow and maybe carry more of the load, but look at the rest of the AFC. I mean, and the Chargers just stole J.C. Jackson from you because they said front load the deal. Make it so New England can't do this.
They also got Khalil Mack. It's teams adding around you, and you're sitting there basically you just got pantsed.
Yeah, which in this case,
not only did you get pants, your underwear is on the back of the door, and you're just hanging there by your tighty whities. That's basically what's happening.
Just like seesaw.
Just waiting. You're gonna have to wait till 2025 now with baseball rules. It's like...
Okay, Christian. What happens? Here we go. We got it. Question of the week. Which happens first? Patriots win the Super Bowl? Pitch clock in Major League Baseball.
Pitch clock. Easy. That's the easiest question of the day so far.
I gotta agree. Yeah, it can be hard. Admitting that something is wrong is the first step.
I think the Patriots are going to be almost identical to they were last year, so it's probably like 10-7.
And I think the schedule's going to be harder though.
9-8, something like that. They're going to be in the middle.
I think they're going to be in the middle. And what we just said, you're going to have teams in the AFC West winning 12 games, 12, 11, 13 games, and not making the playoffs probably.
Let's play a game. I want to play a game.
Okay, let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
I like games.
I'm going to read off some teams. You tell me if they're going to be in front or behind of this team. So the Patriots, this is. All right. So are the Patriots going to be better or worse than this team?
Let me find a functioning writing device. And we can write all these down. What is this? Oh, it's a receipt from Dr. Squatch. I can write on that. Let's go.
Hashtag ad. Just kidding.
Sponsors the 360 Sports Show.
Yeah, hopefully. Dr. Squatch, where are you at? All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, are the Patriots in front of or behind this team? The Tennessee Titans.
Oh God. I feel like they should be in front.
Wrong, they're behind. Moving on.
Yeah, they're behind.
Kansas City.
Behind.
Buffalo Bills.
A big behind.
Clip that. Cincinnati Bengals.
Behind. Their quarterback has already captured some mojo. He just took them to a Super Bowl. Sorry.
They also just upgraded their O-line today. Ted Karras is going. They got another guy from Tampa, I think. So they know what their problem is. The Las Vegas Raiders.
With Josh McDaniels now, if they were to play each other, taking the Raiders.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ahead. Blech.
Indianapolis.
Who's their quarterback? Yeah, we didn't even mention that. Talk about we forgetting other things. So much stuff.
Carson Wentz. Nothing to talk about.
Traded again.
Yeah, who's that?
What are they doing?
He stinks. I don't know, but they're going to get an upgrade somewhere.
The pick compensation that Carson Wentz has been traded for in his career is absurd.
Hey,
if you look at all the things that have been, all the assets that have been given up for Carson Wentz.
Good luck.
So anyway, I'm gonna say ahead of Indy.
Say if the Colts get an upgrade there though, Jimmy G, something like that.
I'd still take the Patriots over them.
Really, even though the Colts just whooped that ass last year.
They didn't whoop that ass.
They were down. They pretty much did.
No,
it was close in the end, but it wasn't really that close. Yeah, Colts are ahead. So I have them ahead of the Steelers as of right now. The Miami Dolphins. 0-2 last year against them.
I know. But no more Brian Flores. I'm going to say they're ahead. Ahead of
Chargers.
Miami. Behind.
That one might be a toss-up if they actually play each other, just because the Patriots kind of like...
They do have, they have their number.
Fits. Yeah. But I also think the upgrades there, Khalil Mack, if he's healthy, and J.C. Jackson.
Who's the Patriots cornerbacks?
Yeah, it might be you and me. Who knows?
I'll take veteran minimum right now.
Yeah,
I'll put it on the record.
100%. You give me $60K, I'll do it. 100%. Let's see. Browns.
They're down. They're. I'm gonna say they're ahead of them only because the trajectory of what's happening in Cleveland. I think the roster probably is still better than yours, but their trajectory is going the other way. They play like week 1, week 2. I'd give Cleveland an edge. You play them in like week 9, Cleveland's already gonna be like fishtailing.
Yeah.
So I'll say they're ahead of Cleveland.
I don't know about that, but Ravens.
Behind. They wouldn't be able to stop Lamar Jackson. Not with this team.
Who's on defense?
Exactly.
Broncos.
I mean, we could stop the game if you want. That's already 7 teams that they're not ahead of. So
out
of the playoffs. But we can keep going. We can.
You want to know who? Well, let me just wrap it up quickly, right? So you want to know who they're ahead of? The Steelers.
Well, we haven't said. Wait. We haven't even said yet. No, let's keep going because we don't even know. There's other teams that we haven't even said they're ahead or behind of yet.
The other teams they should be ahead of though.
Denver.
No, Denver they're behind. But I'm saying the Jets, the Texans, and the Jaguars. Those are the remaining 3 teams. I would say they're ahead of those teams, but they're behind everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, so realistically, the way we've put this. You got 8 teams that are going to be fighting for 7 playoff spots, and I don't think the Patriots are one of them.
They could be number 10 in the conference.
Did we alter the playoff rules?
I don't know.
Nope.
No, but hey,
No.
you know.
Yeah, they need some milk, some significant help. We'll see what comes in free agency. The only way this team actually builds sustainably, successfully, is you have these free agent pieces you added last year. Now you have to just draft. If their first 3 picks aren't on defense, watch out.
I'd be shocked. What they're going to do is they're going to get the Kyle Van Noys of the world and get the lower barrel guys for minimum salaries. You know, McCourty's coming back. They got all their leadership back, and their locker room is going to be great. They might suck, but who cares? They have.
I don't care if you give me Bobby Wagner and Hightower comes back on a veteran minimum deal. Who is playing cornerback? The biggest problem this team had last year.
Damn.
Is lack of
poor Mike.
Lack of depth. No, I hit the arm. I didn't hit the mic. I hit the arm. The replay will show arm contact, not mic contact.
Upon further review,
the Patriots have no corners.
Well, Jonathan Jones will be back, but he's a slot corner.
Slot corner, number 3 at best.
How do we feel about? I don't know. Is
Mills? No.
Kyle Arrington available? Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, Kyle Arrington. What is the playmaker up to these days? I don't know. Yeah. Colin says as well. Y'all got 2 number 3s as your 1 and 2 corner, basically.
They did. There was a name. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it.
I I mean, this feels like the guys they're gonna pick up. It's gonna be like the Lee Boddens of the world. Like that's who they're gonna. If they
How about
sign,
AJ Bouye got released. How do we feel about him? Be better than nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. Kyle Arrington no longer in the league. He last played in 2015. That's crazy. You know, granted he got benched in the Super Bowl, but was a starter in 2014. Signed with the Ravens, and then just done. The average NFL career, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Actually, not even average. That's a very successful NFL career. 7 years.
If Darius Williams is not, he is not franchised. Did he get franchised? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
So he might leave the Rams. I would take him. I mean, he's got maybe some injury issues there, but I would take him for sure.
I don't know. I do not like comment section. What do we think of the New England Patriots as of right now? I have them as the maybe 9th best team. And
that's generous. I think they're like 10 or 11.
Pete and Gansett, who I know has been a predictor of these dark days for years. Pats could be headed back to the early 70s. We'll find out who the real fans are.
Not me. I'm jumping ship later.
Yeah, right. No, see,
kidding.
yeah, you'd say that like, nah, I'm not gonna root for this team. They're not gonna win. And you'd come on week after week after week to complain about what happened in the Patriots game. You'd be like, I thought you weren't a fan anymore. It's like, it's like, yeah.
That's my biggest problem. I can't do that.
I can't stop. I did want to check the NFL.
Just the sheer passion just brings out the anger in me.
He said in monotone. April 28th is the first round of the NFL draft. I do want to make sure. What day of the week is that? That is a Thursday. So we'll have to have. It's always on Thursday. What am I doing? And I look like my schedule is open. So we will once again have to have a live draft show. Because as basically like manic as we were at the end of it last year, that was fun. That was one of our more fun shows. Because we have to fill time. We'll talk about anything and everything to get through time. And the Patriots will pick somewhere in the middle, so we'll have plenty of time to predict. They will pick somebody who we don't want, and then we'll have the remainder of the time to just vent about it. So,
yep.
That is a lot of NFL things. A whole lot of NFL things. If you have any questions or comments about any of the NFL topics for our live listeners, feel free to drop those in the comment section. We will be more than happy to cycle on back to them. But we are going to move along right now and to transition us to other topics. We're going to move to Hot and Not.
It's time for Hot.
Hot.
You want to talk about hot?
Hot.
Please stop doing that.
Doing what?
Continue. Go ahead.
And not.
God, is he a moron? Oh my God, he doesn't shut up.
It's so stupid.
Stupid decisions.
Dum-dums. The naughtiest knot of the year.
Oof. Suck fest. Suck sauce.
On the 360 Sports Show.
All right, Christian. Hot and not, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad. Start her off. What do you have pointing upwards this week? Did you really mute yourself?
I went to take a drink of water before you had muted me for the hot and not. So then
I know what's going on my not list. Go ahead, proceed.
Yeah. I've been there before. I've been called worse than a not, so I'll take it. I went with Kevin Garnett. I lost my train of thought. Kevin Garnett, because of his retirement ceremony. I don't know if anybody got a chance to watch it. I'm sure a lot of people did, until Tom Brady ruined it rudely. Yeah, I just thought it was a cool moment for him, and just kind of Ray Allen back in the building was kind of nice to see, and less scolding for those three. I think all three of them mattered a lot for that championship team. They should have won more, which he said, if not for Kendrick Perkins' injury and the trade for Jeff Green, good job, Danny Ainge.
And Nanad Christic, don't forget.
And former number one, was he a number one pick?
No, I don't think so.
He should be a not, but I would say that that is my hot because I just love Garnett. He's an all timer for sure. Like I said, I think that team should have won more. It's kind of disappointing when you think about it, but overall, just Garnett, the way he kind of not only for the Celtics, but even on Minnesota, his intensity, like you don't see guys like that anymore. He's just 100 miles an hour all the time, intensity, bashing his head on the ball. It's just like he was one of those guys that is just great. And even before he came here, big fan of his. And it was a great moment for him.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who feel like the guy won run ring. Why are we putting him up in the rafters? Have you looked at the rafters? Have you looked at all the numbers that are up there?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
You're going to tell me KG doesn't belong with those guys? Because what he meant to this Boston renaissance for Celtics basketball, you can't even totally calculate and compute it because there's just no way to totally encapsulate the impact that he has had on that team and in the franchise and to that team at that time winning. They do not win. They don't come close to winning Banner 17 without him. There was Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and I love him, but Big Al Jefferson,
he's not Kevin Garnett.
Second round, maybe, losing, 7 games to the Cavs. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's your 2007-2008 season.
From the top
and then Paul Pierce wants to trade the next year to the Lakers, and it all goes off the rails. His intensity, like you said, unmatched. And I did love the ceremony and the hug between Ray Allen comes out, and he's like, good to see Ray Allen. He comes out and gives him, which I was actually kind of surprised to see him there, like just because it's been so weird with all of them. And then Pierce comes running out, and they have a big little group hug. It actually would have been doubly funny if Scal in that moment decided to jump up and also jump in. God. And then you got Big Baby running in from the third deck and Perk coming out of nowhere. Rondo
Nate
sitting
Robinson
there.
Jumps on his back and
falls over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely good. Both of mine are gonna end up being tweets, in a sense, but with all the news about quarterbacks coming out of retirement and there's speculation about who's. I love this from Pro Football Focus. Or sorry, pardon my take. The Steelers if Big Ben tries to come out of retirement. Just shutting the door. No, okay. Good night. That's enough.
See you later.
See ya. Odds of Ben Roethlisberger coming out of retirement, Christian?
-10%.
-10%. I think our math people might say that that's actually a positive. I don't know how negative percentiles work. Anywho.
Well, like most things, I just made it up. So
imaginary numbers. 0.0. So anywho, that's what's hot. What is not? Do you have? I see what you've written here. I gotta see if I can find some imagery here for you.
Yeah. I meant to find the clip. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. Both came out on the court in white uniforms, and the referees were like, how the hell are we supposed to tell who's who? Memphis, go back and change jerseys. So yeah, that immediately rose to the top of my list because
here we go. This is fantastic.
Can't beat that. Someone screwed up.
For our live viewers, you'll be seeing it momentarily. There we go. Oops. Some equipment intern just got fired.
Yeah, how the hell are you supposed to call a foul?
White, eggshell white, number 3, off-white, number 4. Yeah.
Like, if you're looking at this screen right now, it's really hard to tell who's who.
Yeah. Hey, now we know what it's like for colorblind people to watch, Thursday Night Color Rush between, the Bills and the Jets.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Good job.
The gray team has the ball. Whee! That's an all-timer. That's hysterical.
Yeah, so I believe Memphis went back and changed their jerseys after that because the refs were like, "What the hell are we gonna do with this?"
Hey, shirts versus skins. Memphis, just
Yeah.
take them off. Just
Turn
take
them
them off.
inside out.
Yeah, turn them inside out. That would be great. My knot. Once again, he was in the just smorgasbord of knots that we had last week, and he found a way. This is almost like Shaq working in Enos Cantor and JaVale McGee into Shaq and a Fool. Big Baby, man, just continues to give us. This is him. I think at halftime, got down on the court, goes and grabs a ball, and is like, "Oh, let me just get the shot in quick." It'd be one thing if he like cashed it, but of course he bricks it off the back iron.
Yeah, this is very Big Baby. Yeah,
Sticking out his tongue too. I mean, I'm impressed he didn't like pull a hammy or something because he did try to really get into this jump shot, all the body into it. Brick.
it's like
and
from
then-
that movie. I think it's the Long Game Polly,
and-
right? He's rain dance, and he just breaks every shot. Make
And
it rain.
And I mean, he literally is like, who's the guy, the meme guy that does like all the basketball? He's like doing like the 3-point shooting contest, and he's just like he shoots from his side. He's just like bricking it off the side over. He's got the goggles. That's what he reminds me of. I gotta try and find that. Of course, too, he also has to. He's like starts running because it's like, yeah, I'm only gonna get one. I'm only gonna get one chance, and I gotta get it back to section 330 before somebody takes my seat.
He said, "Oops," and just ran out of the building.
I gotta try and find.
Not the greatest shot attempt I've ever seen.
I gotta try and find. Oh, here we go. This is what it reminds me of. If it will play, if it will play. Agree to cookies. Yes, fine, sure, whatever. I just want to show it on my show. There's Big Baby. Clank. Buckets. Clank. Clank. That was Big Baby. So that was my knot for this week.
Big Baby's a fan favorite of yours, huh?
Evidently so. I mean, hey, if he's gonna keep like pulling stunts at Celtics games, I guess.
Yeah, I know. You might as well throw him on there.
Might as well throw him on there. I mean, there honestly wasn't a whole lot to hate from this past week because
Well, we don't hate anything, sir.
there wasn't a whole lot to not like.
That's
So
why
we
it's
had
called
to
not hate.
not hate. We don't call it the love-hate segment. That one would get
Exactly.
us in trouble. Anywho, so along with the retirement of Kevin Garnett's jersey was a game in which the Boston Celtics once again have their hearts ripped out by Luka Doncic.
And Spencer Dinwiddie, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the Dinwiddie one, it's like, whatever. I mean, they triple-teamed Luka because they were like, please, not again. We're not going to let you. I don't care if you're at midcourt. We are not letting you take a sidestep three and beat us again with a dagger shot. But, you know, he makes the play that leads to them winning. Your thoughts on the game itself and, you know, just kind of as we go week to week here, the Celtics are one of these teams that I think we believe could be one of the best in the East, but also has this little bit of an itch back here. They could easily lose to anybody at any given time.
Yeah. Yesterday was a weird game. I thought both teams were not great. But in all honesty, I think the Celtics should have won this game by like double digits almost. I mean, it was a weird game. I think, you know, initially when I was watching, I was like, ooh, this is like the old Celtics. But I kind of stepped back a little bit and said, not really, because I think they're doing some of the same things that they've been doing. Guys just were missing shots, and Jaylen Brown was kind of a non-factor. I think Tatum, he didn't shoot the ball well. He had 21 points, but they were blitzing him most of the night, I would say, most of the day. And he was still getting rid of the ball, as he has been doing, but guys were missing shots. So it was either Grant Williams and Derek White is just, God, I like his energy and anything, but he can't shoot worth a damn. I mean, he's like, him and Grant Williams, I think, were like 0 of 8 or 0 of 6, something like that. Jaylen Brown was not great, like I mentioned.
He did have a
He had a
sick
monster dunk. Yeah, he had a monster
and
dunk.
then hyped up and high-fiving with KG. Like that's the sort of stuff that would bring the roof down.
Oh yeah, no, and
Um,
it did. I mean, the crowd was electric because I mean they were wired for the whole day because of the whole atmosphere, which was great.
Garnett has everybody on
Um,
speed.
but the problem was they lost. You know, and Ime
Yeah.
said before the game, everything is better when you win.
Yeah.
But I also don't. I want to see where they go with the next game. I don't feel like it was as bad as I initially thought when I was watching. You know, it kind of took a step back, looked at it in a bigger picture. I don't think they did anything out of the ordinary. I just think guys were just bricking shots, and
Yeah.
that's a game where you say like, "Oh, Josh Richardson could have helped you make a shot here," because you know one of those two guys, Grant Williams or Derek White, hits a three, the game is over. I mean, it's just like, and then they, you know, of course, the dagger three by Dinwiddie. So a tough shot makes a three, whatever, tip your
Yeah.
cap.
And
But
Tatum almost splashes a desperation heave too. So overtime, who knows? Obviously they're still in a good spot. They're fifth, I believe, right now, a game back of the Bulls. The Bulls, who are tumbling. I mean, obviously they still have a good record, but I think now that they've lost first place, I do not think they will recover first place in the East. The 76ers, the Bucks, the Heat. These are all the teams rounding into form. So Chicago, it's like we were there at the midpoint, and where they're going to be at the end point, who knows?
yeah,
So that was the things from Celtics land. Any news? Are there whispers on the wind for the NHL trade deadline?
there was a trade, but it was a nothing trade. So it was something in Anaheim out west. I don't really care. But I will say that should be heating up here. I think it's let me just double check. It's coming up here soon next week. Monday, March 21st, so a week from today. So there will be something to talk about, I believe, next week because I think the Bruins will do something, and then you know around the league, usually closer to the deadline, things get done. So there will be some guys moving.
Which is next Monday. That the deadline will be come and gone by the time we take to the airwaves next week.
Did you just do a host weren't listening? I just said that.
Oh, I guess I did. I was pulling up. I was just taking a brief peek at big names who could be going to ask you about them. But I guess yes. Now, finally, you caught me.
The tables have turned, sir.
The turntables. Yes, when the
That
hosts
feels
aren't
good.
listening.
That feels good to be on this side of it. I really like this.
It happens to the best of us. So, all right, fine. I'll ask my question then. Who are the biggest names that you expect to be moved?
Yeah, tough to say, but I would say guys. So originally it was going to be Vancouver, maybe JT Miller, guys like that, but they're kind of in the mix, so they're probably not moving. I would say Chikrin was one that was on the Bruins list, but he is down with an injury now, so I don't even know about him. Let me see if I can find a few names that actually might move. Phil Kessel is one that might move. I mean, it's not going to take a lot to get him, and he's kind of, I don't know, he's down the line. I mean, Chikrin to me was really the target. He's a big defenseman, young kid too, young guy. But with him out 2 to 4 weeks, I don't know what the situation will be there. He's still young though, so he's got tenure. He's got term still, so he might move. From there, you're looking at guys like Phil Kessel, I believe. So veteran guys. And Arizona is a mess, so they're probably going to, sell off pieces. Kessel, I would not be surprised if he goes to some type of contender because I think it's probably going to take like a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, something like that. He is he's like minus like his career plus minus like minus 80. He's not very good until he's on a contender like Pittsburgh. Outside of that, I have not heard many names that are ready to move here. So I think things will start moving. I know, the Avalanche was traded for a D-man from the Ducks, but it was nothing. It's not like a star or anything going in either direction.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see. It jogged my memory, by the way. I had a much better hot than a simple tweet. And hockey jogged my memory. Was watching the Paralympics. Team USA, the sledge hockey. Just inspirational. Like, I mean, talk about and just all the Paralympic athletes. the things we complain about. Like, I've been standing. I had a long day. I've been on my feet all day, and it's like, oh man, my feet hurt. I'm standing here doing the show. Kind of can't wait to sit down. Then you you go and you plop yourself on the couch, grab a beer, some chips. Oh, and here's guys with no legs, some of them, out there,
Playing
elite level athletes playing hockey.
Ridiculous.
And some of obviously, I saw them play China, who was just not up to the challenge whatsoever. First Team USA, but even still, like the skill level that these guys have, given their disability, insane. I mean, and shots, like getting able to like really elevate some of these wrist shots. It's just always inspiring. It does not get enough hype, to like go watch the Paralympics. You should, because it gives you a lot of perspective on things you might take 100%. For granted. And it's also it's sports. If you like sports, it's sports. It's fun to watch.
I make no mistake. These I guess overall, just people in general, these people that are in this are athletes. I mean, like, it's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Better athletes than me or you. Yeah,
definitely you. I don't know about me, but
okay. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. When's the last time?
No, I would get told on.
That's one of the things we got to do. Maybe that's what should go on the 360 Sports Show TikTok, is a little one-on-one basketball action. That's what the viewers want.
I don't know if anybody wants that.
Throw some hype music to it.
Look, I think you would probably go down as the ugliest shot in history if we went on TikTok with that.
I think I would be willing to bet that we have friends who are listening right now who would be willing to document such an event. We could get some super slow-mo action. It looks like I'm going up for some big dunk, and then you just finger roll it up and in.
And then I just come out of nowhere and just swat it. Get it out of here.
Swat it. That's when I get an old man basketball, back you in, just give you the pump fake, pump fake, pump fake.
And then that hideous shot of yours, way over the arching shot that somehow goes in.
Oh, no, the shots were fine, man. It's here. It's all here now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a long time. You haven't.
True, yeah.
The shot is no longer back here. It's right here.
My God, that thing was ugly.
Right there. Woo. Hey.
Ugly.
A wise man named Red Auerbach once said, "It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it goes in."
I'll be honest, I haven't played basketball since maybe the last time we played
basketball.
Yeah. So.
Just like 2015.
Jeez, yeah, if that.
A long, long time ago. Christian, any other news or notes? Did we miss anything? Comment section. Did we miss something else? I mean, I know there was like a million. We could sit here and dissect every little free agent.
Kirk Cousins back
move.
to the Vikings. We missed that. Oh no, that's exciting stuff. I think we'll have more because this is really, what's crazy? This is just the tampering period. So I think
this is just the beginning.
And also, there's still some big names on the board. So we'll have more to kind of cover with the NFL as it goes forward here, because Allen Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster, there's still a bunch of big names on the board. Obviously, J.C. Jackson taken down, but, signed by the Chargers. But outside of that, still some big names up there. And I think, it only takes one to get things rolling.
Yes. And we will have plenty next week at a regularly scheduled
An NHL
time.
trade deadline, so it's going to be a lot of movement here across sports. And we have MLB free agency, NFL free agency, NHL trade deadline, all coming up here. And also the NBA playoffs are going to be starting in about, 20 days now?
Yes.
30 days, something like that. So
right around the corner.
We're peaking.
Crazy. Oh, I mean, again, things we could have gotten into the minutia of. I say we're just going to wait and talk about it after the fact. March Madness, baby. We didn't really hit on any of that. But that's coming too. Brackets announced.
Well, yeah, March Madness has turned into half of March and April Madness. So, I lose track of these things. Yeah.
Spring Madness. But we will certainly be hitting on that. We'll have to do brackets. That's what we'll have to do. We'll have to do brackets that we'll see how quickly they get busted.
The only other good news that I have, I'll end it with this.
You'll end me with this.
I will.
And I'll end you with this.
We sprung forward and now we have daylight past 4:30, so now we are moving into the peak time. So
What do you
that
care
is
about
very
daylight?
exciting.
When's the last time you
Oh, I
got
love
sunshine?
daylight. No, I'll tell you.
You don't look
what.
it.
I tell you what. I stay in. I mean, look, I work. It's not like I'm just sitting around like you outside watching sports all day. Like, come on. Some of us have real jobs. Well, to be fair, you're up till like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I
so
say you want to come do what I do till 2 o'clock in the morning. You're more than welcome. You can come help me out fix box scores.
No, you do that. I don't know.
Anytime.
I don't need that in my life.
Leave that to me.
End you with that.
I'll end you with that. And we will end the show on that note. So thank you for everybody who tuned in and listened here. If you didn't catch the
We got
entire
a buzzer
show,
beater question.
Buzzer beater question for future football consideration: would Gronk have been as good a tight end if Brady had not been his QB, or Belichick Brady's coach?
Oh, we will have an answer for you next time on the 360 Sports Show.
We'll have to ponder the question and get back to you with a succinct answer and not a rushed answer. So, tune in next week for the answer to that question and much more. Mondays at 7:30.
You like trades? You like money? You like signing places? We're coming at you next Monday. Don't worry about it.
And if you can't catch us live, you can catch us as a podcast through Sounder FM or wherever you get your podcast from. He's Christian Lauber. I'm Andrew Pizzelli. Have a good night, everybody.